Hello everybody, and welcome to your Venus and Scorpio retrograde tarot reading. So I have to give a brief intro about this video and how it works, so please just bear with me. I know nobody likes intros, but this is actually about the reading. So any question you have will be addressed here and you won't have to ask it later. This reading is for your Venus sign. It's not your sun, not your moon, not your rising. This reading is intended for your Venus sign since Venus is actually going retrograde. Now, if you don't know what your Venus sign is, I've left a link for a free natal chart in the description box below this video, and you'll be able to see, which house and sign your Venus occupies. Now, if you do not have your actual birth time, that's okay. You'll still see which sign Venus rules is being ruled under in your natal chart. You just won't have an accurate view of which house Venus falls into. All right, you need your birth time for your houses to be precise, but you will definitely see which sign Venus sits in your natal chart. So with that said, Venus will go retrograde on October 5th. She's going to retrograde all the way back through Scorpio, which is the 8th house, and she will return to the 7th house of Libra on October 31st, where she will continue her retrograde all the way back through Libra until November 16th. Venus returns direct on the 16th of November, and she will begin her forward movement through Libra once again. She will re-enter Scorpio on December 2nd, and then finally in January of 2019, she will move into Sagittarius, which will complete a very long transit between the 7th and 8th house energies. Because Venus is currently in Scorpio. She was in Libra, and so she's almost out of Scorpio, but here she's going to backtrack all the way back through Libra. Now, astrologically wise, the 7th house is about relationships and partnerships and balance, and then the 8th house is, intensity, transformation, endings, beginnings, shared resources, just a lot of deep, intense energy. So this retrograde is truly about a powerful release and big time change in that 7th, 8th house energy, as well as wherever Venus sits in your natal chart and which houses in your natal chart are ruled by Libra and Scorpio. Okay, so you will notice this energy playing out in your relationships, in like resources, shared resources where you need change and transformation in your life, okay? But in your personal natal chart, where Libra and Scorpio are and where Venus is also going to be a lot of powerful energy for you. So I highly recommend you check out your natal chart with that link if you don't know it very well. And again, unfortunately, if you do not have your birth time, you will not be able to see that the houses precisely, okay? You'll be able to see where which sign Venus sits in, but the house will not be accurate unless you have your birth time, okay? So with that said, I will get started with your readings. Hello there and welcome. So this is for those of you who have your Venus in the sign of Gemini. So let's see what this Venus retrograde is bringing all of those of you with Venus in Gemini. This is going to be quite the transit for the rest of the year, so just keep that in mind. This side of the reading will focus more on Venus retrograding through Scorpio, and this side of the reading will focus more on Venus as she retrogrades through Libra. Okay, so those of you with Venus in Gemini, let's see what is up. Okay, so as Venus retrogrades through Scorpio, we've got fear here, and it says, fear has no place in your heart. Distance yourself from drama and destructive situations as you breathe in love. All right, so those of you with Venus in Gemini, you guys are going into contemplation mode as she retrogrades into Scorpio, and it's going to kind of put some things up in your face, you know, your shadows, your demons, your fears, because some of you, there are some relationships that you are connected to that you only entertain out of some sort of need or fear-based energy. And, you know, when she retrogrades, Venus is going to really point those relationships out to you and be like, do you really need these in your life? Like, why are we holding on to this? Why are we putting up with this? Why are we tolerating this energy? Okay, now I'm doing this reading from a place of 7th, 8th house energy, which is more about relationships, intense emotions, transformation, death, rebirth, okay? But where Libra and Scorpio sit in your personal natal chart, along with the house that Venus is occupying in your personal natal chart, is where this energy is also going to play out. So make sure you keep that in mind as I'm doing the reading, where I'm looking at it from 7th, 8th house energy, because that's where Venus is at in the sky. But your personal natal chart is also going to, you know, have a different impact based on where those positions are for you, okay? So, wow, look at this, how appropriate. Over here in Libra, we have the relationships, and Libra is the sign of relationships. So as Venus moves into Libra, you are going to have a big time focus on relationships in general. Gather those you love, celebrate family, friendships, warm hearts, and your sense of purpose as relationships grow much closer and enrich you. Wow. So those of you with Venus and Gemini, you are going to have to really face some fears when it comes to relationships, all relationships, friendships, romances, co-workers, strangers that you just run into or speak to on the street, okay? There's something here attached to relationships, some fear-based energy that's going to really be exposed. Also, some of you that just have a general fear of intimacy, where it's like you have a hard time connecting in that way, emotionally or, you know, physically, or even like mentally. It's, I don't know, that's really going to be highlighted. The universe is trying to push you past any sort of fear-based energy you're dealing with in regards to relationships. Relationships with others, relationships with yourself, relationships with the divine, relationship with having intimate relationships in general. All right, like you guys are going to be bombarded. And you know, with the 2 hearts there, and Venus is the planet of love, and we're talking about it being in Gemini. You know, Gemini's the twins, right? So I feel that you guys are of 2 hearts. You have twin hearts inside of you. Much like, you know, a normal person under the Gemini sun, they have 2 personalities. Well, you guys having your Venus in Gemini, it's like you have 2 hearts here. And one heart is open and loving and giving and free and I love everybody, and the other heart is, oh my God, no way, you know, I've got to worry about things, I've got to protect myself, you know, people are horrible, people are mean, they'll only take advantage of me, they'll only take advantage of things. So you can have this internal battle going on within your own heart, where there's a part of you that wants to be open and loving and free, and there's this other part of you that's really scared, really holding back. And it could just be because you're afraid in general, or it could be that, you know, you've been through some serious stuff and now you're realizing that you do have a little bit of trauma and energy you need to heal about yourself, so that you can become vulnerable and open yourself up and connect better to other people. So for those of you that have your Venus in Gemini, I really feel like huge review on relationship, every kind of relationship, and your own fear-based energy about it. Even if you have good reason, it's like the universe says it's time to heal. It's time to move on from this. There's relationships and connections that are vital for your life journey, and we've got to get you there. So let's pull some more cards to add more to this reading, more energy. Okay. So yeah, over here we have the Prairie Queen, True Self, Royalty, Connections. And on this side we have, man, Trust, Faith, Surrender, Waves. And I'll tell you what, this card continues to come out in every reading. There's a lot of fear-based energy that Venus is pulling up from the depths of our souls and forcing us to deal with. And listen, if you've been really burned, really scarred by friendships, by romances, you know, you name it, family members, I feel like this Venus retrograde is trying to purify you from all that trauma and heartache and drama and elevate your vibration, okay? Because with the Prairie Queen coming out, it's like you need to remember that you are precious and that you are worth something. And, you know, sometimes we go through periods of our life where everybody around us just treats us horribly. And we're like, what? Why? And it makes us doubt ourselves and it chafes away at our self-esteem. But ultimately, you know, those experiences grow us spiritually and make us stronger, make us more independent, make us our biggest cheerleader, hero, supporter, okay, opposed to looking outside of ourselves for those things. So if you've been going through a lot of hard relationships of all genres, it's not because you suck, you are unworthy, you're being punished. There's some serious soul growth taking place for you, and it's about you becoming very strong and independent all on your own. And you are something quite special with the Prairie Queen coming out. And as you work through your fear-based emotions and energies, it's like you will come into that understanding, all right? And also, even though you can't see what's up ahead, you don't know what's going to happen with certain relationships. It's, you know, you've got to just give in and take your chance. It's 50-50, right? When we're doing anything, it's a 50-50 shot of outcome, good or bad, desired, undesired. And, you know, don't let fear and the unknown hold you back from experiencing life, from experiencing intimate love, experiencing friendships, okay? Don't let any of what's happened in your past take away from your now. And those of you that have kind of been in frozen mode, or just, you know, unable to commit to anything or really open yourself up and be vulnerable, Venus retrograding through Scorpio and Libra is really going to shake all that up in you. And again, you're going to realize I've got to take the plunge. I've got to move forward, even though I don't see what's up ahead. I've got to do it. And the two hearts that exist inside of you, one of them's like, woohoo, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And the other one's like, oh, hell no, you just didn't say that. I'm about to fill your mind with some doubts because I'm not on board with this. So just keep that in mind, okay? You've got to get those hearts in sync with each other. Yeah, and look here's the card that represents Gemini, and it's all about, you know, coming into sync with yourself if it's not about a romance. How appropriate. Okay, so first card out for you guys is the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be if you are an Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, very strong message in this reading for you. Or you could be dealing with an Earth sign person in this reading, okay? Next we have Four of Cups. This is all about missed opportunity on this side, okay? And so some of you, it's like the universe is saying, don't let fear hold you back and miss out on great opportunities that you so deserve because of what you've been through or what you are afraid of, okay? Next out, we have the Four of Pentacles. Some of you might be saying, no, I'm just trying to really establish myself, or I'm trying to re-establish myself. Seven of Wands, yeah, definitely Many of you with Venus and Gemini, you've been trying to either establish yourself in your career financially or re-establish yourself after some sort of trauma that you've experienced in the past. And lastly, we have this Emperor. Yeah, all about becoming empowered in yourself. Could be, if you're an Aries, very strong message this reading for you, or you could be dealing with an Aries. Yeah, so I see big time focus on job or relationship in this reading, 100%. And, you know, listen, even if you want to move up in the world in your job, or you want to branch out into a new company, you know, even if you feel like you have the experience for a certain job, but you're like, maybe all the qualifications they're asking for, I don't have all of that, go for it anyways. How do you think you get that experience? By doing it. So sometimes you got to fudge a little bit and fake it till you make it, because if you already have the general experience, you're building on a foundation that you've already established. So you're going to have success, and you have 4 fours in this reading. So I feel like those Gemini with Venus and Gemini, you are going to be building on a foundation you've already established for yourself, okay? So if this is in the workplace, it's saying, you know, just go for it. Even if you don't have all those qualifications, you know, apply, go to Google, read about all of those different things and be like, okay, yeah. So you can talk about it in your interview, and then fake it till you make it. And I promise you'll be a rock star with the Emperor coming out. You will be able to handle it, okay? You'll be a boss. Don't let something that seems really big and beyond you intimidate you. I feel like you can take it on and handle it like a boss. And some of you might think, oh, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy for whatever this is. And I'm telling you, no, do not let this opportunity pass you by. You are big enough, strong enough, able and capable of this. If this is about a job, 100% for sure, building your dream, becoming self-employed, whatever it is, you got it. Don't for 1 second let fear or negative thinking hold you back from this. No. And over here, you know, if this is about different relationships, I really feel as though we're either in contemplation mode about what we've been through, and are we able and capable enough to open up to love again or other friendships again, okay? Or there is definitely like a reconnection happening here, where either you are returning to somebody and you are saying, you know what, I'm sorry for all the things I did and said, or who I was to you and what I didn't do, because you are the one for me and I want to make this right. I want another chance with you. Or if it's a friend, I'm sorry I didn't appreciate you, or family member. Or that person is coming to you and saying that. This is general, so I go both ways. But there's definitely a mending of a relationship that has been in the struggle, where somebody's coming into the realization of how much the other person actually meant to them. And it could go either way, because right now everybody's under this Venus retrograde energy, so they're all reviewing, reassessing relationships to some degree, okay? So it could be somebody coming back to you and apologizing, or you could be like, I really want to make this right with somebody, and that's what we're afraid of, is like, I'll be rejected or they won't care. And you know what? You've got to just take your chances, because I don't think you'll be rejected, okay? But this is a general reading, so you've got to take your chances and follow what your heart and soul are telling you. And as I say that, we have your outcome cards here. I was only going to pull one, but you guys get two. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. So this to me is saying, yes, if you need to apologize or make amends in a relationship, even if you're afraid of rejection, you will be very well received, okay? Or somebody wants to make amends with you and really make things right. And then look at here, you also got the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So those of you with Venus and Gemini, All is well. You know, you guys really have a nice reading here. To me, if anything, it looks like fear of rejection or fear of incapability or fears that stem from what you've been through in the past are like your primary focus because it's holding you back either in relationships or in your career or fulfilling, bringing your dreams into fruition. Okay, it's like fear is holding you back, and here's this opportunity showing up. Don't let it pass you by, okay? Because you are building upon a foundation that you've already created for yourself. It's like this Venus retrograde is returning you to ground you've already covered, and now it's time to build more upon that. And it's either about your job or it's about certain relationships. And it's like it's all going to turn out really great. Do not let fear hold you back. You are truly something special, okay? Just believe in yourself. So those are the messages for those of you that have your Venus in Gemini. I am wishing you all the very best. Take care.